Unfortunately, it seems that our world these days likes to prioritize laziness. And our world likes to prioritize kind of doing what you want, not caring, not putting effort into your work, and just skating by on the bare minimum. I want to encourage you to do the opposite. So, today on this episode of the Uncomfortable Podcast, we're going to talk about the value in hard work and why you should give your all in everything you do. So, just a little of my background with hard work. So I've always had hard work instilled in me. That's something that's always been instilled in me is whatever you do it your best and you give it your all. And, I grew up working on ranches. I grew up working on land, out in Texas. I grew up in high school. I sold firewood in the middle of winter, and at times it really sucked. And so I grew up doing a lot of manual labor, and I'm glad for that. And it was really hard at the time, and it was tough. And, I spent my summers through middle school and high school cutting trees and doing all kinds of, ranch work in the middle of summer in Texas. And that was really hard, but it taught me the value of hard work, and I carry that with me today. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's something that is lacking in our world. And this isn't some like grumpy old man kind of speech about how nobody wants to work these days and whatever. But in a lot of ways it's true. I mean, you just see such, I don't know. I think there's two different things you see a lot. And it's just people not wanting to work. It's people not wanting to put effort, or even if they are working, they're just really wanting to do the bare minimum so they can just go home and do whatever else. Or I think secondly, you see people just really not caring. And you see people, and I guess that goes along with doing the bare minimum, but you see people who they're not really caring. They don't care about the result. They just care about like getting it done so they can, check off the box and move on. They don't care about actually, hard work is more than just working hard. It's about getting a job done right. And I feel like that's something that is lost on a lot of our culture today. And I don't know why that is. I don't know what the reason for it is. But I know that I can say, man, there's so much value in hard work, and it affects the rest of your life. It really does. I've noticed in my life when I'm focusing on building my work ethic and really showing that, and really, what's the word I'm looking for here? Embodying that work ethic and bringing my all, bringing my best, and doing the best job that I can. I've noticed that when I do that, when I bring that, and when I show up in that way, I show up in that way in all aspects of my life. When I show up to a job that I maybe don't really want to be at, don't really want to do, but I show up with a good attitude and I show up with a good work ethic, and I say, you know what, I'm going to work at this. Like, this is my own company. Like, this is my own business. And like, I really care. Even if it's something that maybe deep down I don't really care that much about, I'm going to approach it with an attitude that I do. And then I notice that it compounds in other areas in my life. So I noticed that in those situations, right, I noticed that then around the house, I'm seeing things that maybe I'd be like, I don't want to do the dishes, or I don't want to do this or that. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to approach this with a good work ethic, and I'm going to bring this value of hard work because I know that there is so much value found in that. And I don't know. I think that doing the best, bringing your best in whatever you do is just so important. A job well done goes a long way. And I don't know. It's something that's really lost in our culture. And it's largely because it's uncomfortable. It's not the easy thing to do. I mean, a lot of times you can get away and you can get by with just skating on the bare minimum and just, doing the least little bit that you can to get by, and you can get away with that, unfortunately. And I think that's a big part of the problem. So But that's where you got to be the change, and you got to just be the example, and you got to be that person. But I just think it's important. And I just think like the impression, you shouldn't care what people think about you in like a deeper sense, but you should care about like how people perceive your work. And especially if it's your business, even more so you should care. But regardless of what you do, you really should care what people like, how people perceive your work. You should take pride in your work, take pride in what you do. You know, people just don't care these days, and it's just not good. It's not okay. It's not how we should be. It's not how we should want to be perceived. So I don't know. Basically, this is all just a note of encouragement of like, hey, of encouragement, and also just a reminder of whatever you do, you know, do it with a good attitude. Do it with a smile on your face. And I don't know, for example, today's a Sunday when I'm recording this. I know it's not released on a Sunday, but recording this, I currently work as a delivery driver on the weekends, and I was dropping off a package to a lady at her house, and she was outside, and she was like, have a good day. She's like, I'm so sorry you have to work today. And, you know, I was like, whatever, like, it's fine. But in my head, I was thinking, I was like, you know what? No, I don't have to work today. I get to work today. I get to work. I get to have this job, and I get to make money so that, because this job that I'm doing on the weekends supports all the other stuff I'm doing. It supports me being able to do this podcast and me being able to do all the other things that I do through my media business and everything else. So I get to do this job. This is a privilege. This is like, I get to do this, and I get to be outside when I do my job, and I get to go, you know, I have the physicality to be able to do this job. So I get to. And if you can view your work not as I have to go to work today and I have to do this and I have to do that, and as monotonous and boring and dull and annoying and frustrating as it might be, and, you know, whatever, as much as you might deep down hate it, try to switch your attitude and approach it with an attitude of, I get to do this. This is a privilege. This is an honor. And I'm going to bring my best self, and I'm going to bring all that I got, and I'm going to leave it all out there today and, you know, bring my best self and bring my best effort. And then I'm going to, you know, come home and I'm going to go do it all again tomorrow. And so, you know, just having that work ethic and having that, I don't know, honestly, that'll make you stand out. If you want to stand out, if you want to, you know, if you want to stand out in today's world, cultivate a good work ethic, cultivate a hard work ethic. And you know what? Even regardless of how people perceive you based off your work ethic, you're going to perceive yourself on a much higher level. Because if you're just, and look, I've done both. Okay. So if you're just skating by on the bare minimum, I can tell you that you're not going to perceive yourself as highly, and you're not going to feel that same, and pride has a negative connotation in a lot of ways, but you know what I mean? It's like a humble pride. It's like I don't know if you've ever made something and you look on it and you be like, man, I made that. I did that. Or whatever it is, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like whenever you have work that you take pride in, you're like, man, I did that. It feels good. It feels accomplished. Versus if you just like, you know, whatever, it's done. Who cares? Like, you're not going to have that same level of like accomplishment. Versus if you actually take pride in what you do, and you take pride in your work, and you value that, man, that is going to get you so much further, and you're going to feel so much better. And yeah, I don't know. So I just want to encourage you as you go about your week, as you go about whatever you're doing, take pride in your work, take pride in what you do, and bring your best self. And yeah, so just want to leave you with that. This is a bit of a short episode. Just wanted to encourage you with that today. Yeah, be the example. So when you show up and you're bringing your hard work and you're bringing that work ethic, not only are people going to notice it, but they're going to take after you. And it's going to go a long way. And so I always say, you know, if you want to see change in the world, you got to be that change that you want to see. So go out there, bring your best self to whatever you do. Go make yourself proud because you deserve that. And yeah, don't just go cultivate that work ethic you want to see. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a rating and review. And yeah, keep on diving, go crush the rest of your week, and see you on the next one.
Take yourself out your comfort zone. If you want to be ordinary, you ain't even got to listen to me.
Comfort is overrated. We've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.